Hello, Internet. Welcome back to the conclusion of First Martians Adventures on the Red Planet. We're doing mission 5 called Conclusion, to make sense, and we get to open envelope number 1. So, let's play. I'm gonna do the prepare game elements, read the introduction, mission objectives, gameplay changes, special actions, and it's probably gonna ask me to open this envelope. So let's find out. We're gonna start playing on easy. So, campaign booklet, mission 5 conclusion, and open the envelope. Alright. So, spoiler warning. Let's see. Maybe I should got some scissors or something. I'm doing a very bad job trying to open this envelope. Okay. There's cave description. And cave tiles, I guess. Cool. So, let's see, what do we gotta do here? Find and place the G tile face up on the map area of the board. Okay, so all this is going away. And we're going inside the tunnel. There's the G. This is your starting tile. The tile has a gather icon. Place a sample from the pool as you would do with a regular region of interest. The same applies to every new cave tile entering play. You can normally gather that sample. Okay. Oops. Okay. Place 3 random cave tiles adjacent to it face down as shown. The rest of the cave tiles form a face down deck. So I shuffled a bit. These go here. Draw 1 research card to determine if the starting tile is even or odd. Put the Scorpio miniature on this tile. So research cards, Scorpio. Okay, so research card, 35% and the number 4. So, what does it say about that? Explore. So it's even. So it's G even. It says the cavern has an interesting spherical shape. You can measure it, examine the surface, and take samples from the low-hanging ceiling before you head in one of 3 directions. In order to do that, you need to spend more time here. You can spend 3 energy and 2 oxygen from the filled track to immediately gain 1 from this tile only once. How much stored and how much filled do I have? I don't know. Okay. So I'm shuffling the research card back in. Remove all elements from the board. Oh, jeez. Except the markers in the round order box and the morale box. Round order box? I stopped using that a while ago. Tank the point of interest tokens and malfunction cards are not used in this mission. Okay. I don't know if there's... Why would I bother? Whatever. I'll do what it says. All my hard work maintaining the base, getting all the upgrades, exploring everything. Should have known better. Okay. Reset the stress track to 0. For each block, shuffle all used and unused cards together to form a new deck. Reset all malfunction tracks to 0. Discard samples from the discovery spaces. Place black markers at the starting position of the filled track. For oxygen, what you packed in the previous mission. Okay. I'm board in 7. For energy, 3 plus what you packed. Okay, so black markers. So we brought with us, I think, 4 of each. That's why we're supposed to write it down. Can't go back. So for oxygen goes to filled. Oxygen goes to filled 4. And energy goes to 7. Put the spare parts you packed in the previous mission available in the cargo. So these guys go away. And so we had 2 of each. Guess this goes away. Okay, facilities. Explore, gather, research, and build. Explore, build, research, heal. What were we missing? Gather. Okay. Temporary garage hall, all status markers are green. Temporary probe bay, status markers are green, status markers top to bottom black. Green, green, green. Temporary lab is green, black, green, green. And working bay also has a black one. The black markers indicate the cost you need to pay if you want to take this action. These parts cannot be repaired. If you packed any other action, take the corresponding facility card. Its status markers are all green. Place as many markers on it as there are actions you packed. Status? Many markers? Okay. So, what did we bring? We brought the med bay and the other one. Yeah, the med lab and the crew. And 4 of each. For example, if you packed 4 heal actions, take the med lab backup med lab card. It has 4 green status markers and additionally 4 other markers to indicate uses of that action. No upgrade tiles are used except for the auto scanner if there are less than 4 astronauts in play. Put Froggy back in the box. You won't use it for this mission. Your game is ready to play. Okay. Ignore all effects that refer to components not used in this mission, such as drawing malfunction cards, placing tokens on facility tiles, etc. In the production phase, you don't put any shutdown tiles. You only do production of oxygen and energy step to move markers on stored tracks. Okay, I hope I understand. Okay. Conclusion. You left the hub behind and you drove once again to where the antenna used to be. Following NASA's advice, you will search for clues to explain the cyclic phenomena which disturb your signal. A new area to explore lies at your feet. Important, this mission is won if at least one astronaut remains alive and fulfills the objectives. Not all astronauts must survive. Wow, that's nice. Sort of. This is Hour 1 instead of Soul 1. This event phase, eager and excited. Michael Shepard says, the tunnels led in all directions. I say we static and then meet up here. All prepare the equipment. Noise. Care of the supplies. Door closes. Each astronaut, roll the red malfunction die. Gain. Now, did it say to wipe these? What happens if I go back? I can't go back. I think we're supposed to wipe these. It never said. I'm gonna do it anyway. It probably said and I missed it. We've done that every other time. So each astronaut rolls the red. 1 for the geologist, 1 for the scientist, 1 for the engineer, and 1 for the medic. Okay. Check your oxygen and energy production now. What are we supposed to do? Skip the food step. You don't need to eat. If you have built both the wind power station and the portable oxygenator, +3 energy and +4 oxygen in each round's production phase, move the markers on the stored tracks accordingly. You cannot store more than 7 units of energy or oxygen. Don't have to worry about moving seeds or consuming food to increase stress. That still happens. Resolve penalties and broken things. So, next phase. Gain 1, or spend 1 to gain 1 and prevent future consequences. We're going to check the quest log. Oh, we never read the introduction. So, the quest log says complete the first research track, number 1 and 2. But the introduction says, and here you are at the mouth of the cave, armed with all the necessary equipment to study various kinds of anomalies of different origin. You will descend to the depths and discover where the mysterious patterns come from. You hope that NASA will use this knowledge to find a way to prevent another communication disruption. You better send them the data before one of those occurs again. The antenna you erected weeks ago is no longer towering above you as you enter this cave. Only one among many others in Noctis Labyrinths, the Labyrinth of the Night. So finally know where the name comes from for this campaign. Your torches cut through the darkness around you. Mission objectives: explore the cave, take the explore action, see gameplay changes section. And 2, find the cause of the interference which have been plaguing you over the past month. Take the gather action to pick up the clues. Take the research action to examine them. For each completed research track, see gameplay changes section. Place a corresponding objective token on the bottom of this mission sheet. So we have this research track 1 and 2. You gain 1, then 3 and 4 and you gain another, and then 5, 6, and 7 you gain a third. So that's our goal, is to research 7 items. We have to gather those 7 items first, and we have to explore to find the items first. Action. So gameplay changes. When you take an action using any facility card, pay only the cost indicated by a black status marker. Action phase, explore. Scorpio cannot assist in the explore action during this mission. It's hard to maneuver in the tunnels. Besides, fuel is at a premium. Always count distance from the rover. Remember to apply any effects, tokens, penalties on all the tiles on your way, including the tile you start your movement from. Whenever you explore a new tile, flip it face up. You may rotate it any way as long as it's connected through a tunnel or a chain of tunnels with the tile you came from. If possible, continue and connect to the previously explored tunnels. I see. Draw 1 research card if its value is even or odd, together with the letter in the corner of the newly explored tile identifies the tile. Read the corresponding description from the cave description sheet. Mark that description for future reference. Okay. This has 2 pages, so how can we mark it? I'll use a piece of paper. So right now we have G is even. Go somewhere. So what else? At the end of each opening of the newly explored tile, place 1 new tile face down. At each opening of the newly explored. If there are none left in the stack, pick up the already placed but still face down ones, shuffle them, and create a new stack. Action phase, gather. When you gather a research thing, place it on the provided area on the left side of the mission sheet. Malfunction phase, skip it. Clean up. You can move the Scorpio to an adjacent tile. Any phase, if you need to spend energy or oxygen, take them from the filled track. Move the markers accordingly. What is stored? What is a stored track? Filled? Refill? So we have a wind power station. Take the build action on the starting tile. Put one white marker on the 0 energy space of the stored track. The wind power station is now ready. Store, okay. And then the same thing with the portal. So we build these things, the stored will store up, and then we take the refill action. You have to add the distance between the Scorpio and the starting tile. Count all cost penalties along the way, including the tiles you start and end your move on. Choose whether to refill your energy or your oxygen. Move the markers on the stored and filled. So stored goes down, filled goes up. So a lot to deal with the oxygen and energy. If you need to spend energy or oxygen, okay, research tracks, there's 7 number spaces. When you successfully research an item, put it on the lowest numbered empty space. Whenever a track is complete, has no empty numbered spaces, place a corresponding red objective token next to it. The app will tell you what you discovered. Okay. So, gather. So we're gonna gather that. We're gonna explore stuff. Explore. So 1, 2, plus 1 more. What was the other things we brought with us? We brought the scientific gear. This equipment increases rover mobility and protects the crew and affects your research capacity. Provisions, spare parts, essentials. Where does this go? 3 and 7, or 4 and 7. Okay, we need to prevent future consequences. Are we building anything? Let's try to build something. We'll build wind power station. And we'll build the oxygen first. Okay. So this guy did that. And now we're gonna play. So that got done. We're going to gather, unwind, explore. So we're gonna explore. These get flipped over. A. H. Is that, oh, whoops, face down. And face down. Okay, so put one here and here, and even or odd. So take a research card. So A is even, and H is also even. So A says, the area is vast and covered in layers upon layers of powdery, sand-like material. Traversing it will not be an easy task for the unprepared. When Scorpio is on this tile at the beginning of the action phase, if you have the crawler chains, nothing happens. If you don't, okay, we do, so we're cool. H says, you approach what appears to be a hall. A column stands at its center. Its surface appears unnaturally smooth and featureless. You take some time to ponder if these caverns had fluid water running through them at one point in Mars's history. When you explore this tile, -2 oxygen on the filled track. Filled goes down by 2. Okay. And then the third one we have to roll for, so this is explore. We were successful, we have to take an adventure. So the geologist says lost. Uh-oh. Left, right. Or was it left, right? Stress goes up by 2. Okay. These guys come back. We were successful. I. And one more. And one more. And is I even or odd? I'm going to shuffle the research cards. I is odd. The further you go, the less clear the atmosphere becomes. At first you think it's only because of dust, but then you scan the readouts, you realize there are acid fumes. Driving your rover down this tunnel may not be the best idea. As long as Scorpio is on this tile, in the action phase you must spend 1 energy from the filled track, or each astronaut rolls the green wound die. If you rolled a wound, suffer 1 wound. Okay, so we don't want to go that direction much. So this is pretty cool so far. So we were successful that, we took an adventure, and then that's all the exploration. Now we're going to gather, so this only requires 2. It's 1 for where we are. How many does it require? Just 1. It's 1 plus 1 more to guarantee success, and that's it. Right? So we gathered 1. And we're gonna build the... Okay, so we went to the gather thing, we had to spend an energy to do that. So our energy goes down by 1. Now we're going to the build, we're gonna build something, so it also goes down by 1. And now we're gonna see if we're successful on the build. We were successful and we take an adventure. There's a build by the engineer. I don't know why, but there's something strange about those caves. I feel like in a horror movie. Put this token on the temporary working bay space. Temporary working bay aerospace. I don't know what that means. I don't remember what that means. If you succeed to roll a success die for this action and roll the check mark, if you needed to roll a success die for this and roll a check, but you must re-roll it once. Only the result of the second roll applies. So okay, so that's like a re-roll icon, but only if you needed to roll it. That's interesting. So okay. So we were successful in building the portable oxygenator. One white marker on the 0 oxygen space. Oxygen. Okay. Everyone has returned to base. Next phase. Malfunction. Didn't we say we skipped the phase? Can't this app be smart enough to make it not be here? And then cleanup. You can move the Scorpio to an adjacent tile. So we still do the cleanup phase. So we move from the arrow to the exclamation point. Pending. Explore. Gather. Yeah, we don't use the pending to available. We just put it over here when we gather. Discard black markers from used skills. Yeah, I'm gonna use this skill to go down on stress. And pass the first player token. Hour 2. What happened to my white thing? Did I use it for something else? Okay. So, event phase. A beeping sound. You must be kidding me. You're doing it wrong. Let me see. +1 stress. First player gains. Okay, hey. I don't remember doing that in the... We never did the morale phase in the first... So... That guy got 3 from the previous round phase. This guy gets 3. Production. So... Now... In the production phase... We have the portable oxygen generator. And... +4 oxygen. Yeah, we're gonna run out of oxygen pretty soon, pretty quickly. So I think we need to do the refill. Place 1 action on 1 pawn on this action, then add X pawns. X equals distance. Oh, we can move the Scorpio. Yeah, I'm gonna move the Scorpio over here. Do I? Yeah, sure. Did anything bad happen on A even moving the Scorpio there? Yeah, we have the crawler chains, so nothing happens. Research. Consume food. Check your oxygen. Increase the stress. What else happens in the production phase? That's it. So increase the stress 6 goes to 10. Gain 1 to prevent future consequences. I'm gonna send the medic there. Gonna explore. We get to do some science. What's the research track? When you research a thing. So, just gonna research one of those things and pick something up. So, it's 1. I think, what does that count double? How does this work? Gather, explore. gathering on the action? I think it's just one. So, let's see, gather. It requires 2 to be successful plus -1 for the space I'm at. And then we can build the wind power station. Think we're okay. So we're doing that. Prevent future consequences. This guy gains 1, and we're gonna spend it to lower the stress. Then we're going to explore. So we're exploring this and this. And this. So we're gonna take these off. And reshuffle them. And put them here, here, and here. And F, polar research. F is even and D is odd. F even. At first glance, there is nothing interesting in this tunnel, but the further you go, the more shrilling the sound of your metal detector becomes. Perhaps there are ore deposits in these walls. If so, they could be of use to the settlers of Mars. But how did they get here? Volcanic activity in a system of tunnels like this one? You decide to investigate this matter. When you move Scorpio to this tile for the first time, if you have the metal detector, put a -1 token on this tile. Okay, if you don't, nothing happens. Okay, I might do that. It was F even and then D odd. The corridor is long and in some places very narrow. You can feel distinct trembling under your feet. Here and there parts of the ceiling have fallen off. When you explore this tile, place 1 wound token on this tile. Okay. And we're going to explore or pick up. That was gather. Now we're going to research. We have to roll. And on the gather action, we spent an oxygen, power. And for the research, we're spending oxygen, and for the building, we're spending power. We were not successful, and we have to take a wound and go on an adventure. I'm gonna re-roll these. Oh, not a wound. That's a gain morale. So I'm gonna re-roll success die. We're still not successful. So we spent a morale. We used our special ability, and we're still not successful. That was to research. So that was a research adventure by the scientist. That piece of rock is not only symmetrical, it's as if it was cut and polished. Can Martian weather do that? Gain 1. Oh, we're using the pending area, the cargo bay. I guess that's gonna count. Okay. Then we're gonna build something. So that was this. Building, rolling. Not successful, and we have to go on an adventure. I'm gonna re-roll. Still not successful. Oh, right. This was not successful, so we got 2 morale tokens for it. This is not successful, we'll get 2 morale tokens for it, and we have to go on a building adventure. Says, I have this weird feeling as if I was being watched. +1 stress. There's a lot of creepy things going around. And he failed to build. What number was this on? 3, I think? 1? Okay. Malfunction phase is skipped. Cleanup phase. Oh. If we were successful, we would have had to have rolled it again. So I should have put 2 guys there so we could guarantee success, but that gets discarded now. Pending to the available, I'm gonna put it over here. Discard markers of used skills. Medic used her skill too. And player token. Hour 3. Are you alright? Hey, look at me. Wheeze. Here, breathe deeply. In and out. +1 oxygen on the filled track. Okay. Next phase. Morale phase. +3 morale. I'm spending 1 to lower the stress every round. Production. So our oxygen gets maxed out. And we did not get to build the wind power station. Seeds, food, stress. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And penalties. Yep. So spend an action to increase the oxygen by 2 on the filled track. I guess we'll be doing that. We need to pick up more things and explore. Reshuffle the research. We need to guarantee building this wind power station. And we need to guarantee some research getting done here. We might even do 2 research. And we're gonna move Scorpio again. Forgot that was a choice during the cleanup phase. Gathering and building require energy. So we have enough. Researching requires oxygen. That's going to go up by 2. So yeah, let's see. We're going to do more. We might want to lower the stress. Let's see, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, but it might go up by more. So we're going to go to unwind to lower stress. Explore more. And explore. So we're spending more time exploring till all the exploring's done. And we try to gather. We need 2 plus 1. No, this guy will go do the action. Let's we're going to try to research. We're going to guarantee research. Okay. So +2 on the oxygen to prevent future consequences. Then unwind and explore. For both of these. Okay. C is a dead end. Okay, so E is even and C is odd. So E So C odd says this corridor appears a dead end and the airborne dust drastically reduces your visibility range. What's worse, the surface is irregular and jagged. Driving in here without proper lighting is a risky business. When you move the Scorpio to this tile, roll the brown wound die. If you roll a wound, replace the green computer status marker on the temporary garage hall with a red one. Until this has been repaired, you need to roll a success on the green success die to move Scorpio in the cleanup phase. Okay. Probably not gonna move there, but we get 2 more. Get 1 here and here. And oh yeah, what did F say? F even. Oh, so if you have the metal detector, put a -1, which we do. So that means in order to have been successful on exploring both of those tiles, we needed 1 more action each, which we didn't have. So we need to roll success on both of those explorations. We were successful. We took a wound and we're gonna go. So who was on top? I think the medic was probably on top. Take a wound, go on an adventure. I tripped on a loose rock. Falling in low gravity was an odd sensation, no effect. Then, so let's say C was successful. Now we have to roll again for E. We were successful and we took a wound, and I think the engineer might have been on top, I don't know, or the scientist. Doesn't really matter. I'll try to pay attention more. So we were successful. Took wounds. Okay, so the geologist has a skill to discard those chosen tokens, but it's from ring 1, 2, or 3. I guess we can say ring 1 is wherever we currently are. So if we had more of these, we can discard some of these. Okay, so that was explore. We're not doing a gather, we're doing a research. It cost oxygen, and that was the gather. Let's see, we're not doing gather, we're doing build. So -1 on the build for energy and -1 for oxygen. This was successful, so we put a number 1 there. And this was successful, so we get our wind power station. Next phase. Malfunction is skipped. Cleanup. Should Should I move? So we're gonna pending to available black markers. I did roll. Did I re-roll stuff? I don't know. I think I did. You can't re-roll on the green. Okay, so discard black markers, pass the first player token. So Geologist is gonna gain 3. What are they called? Morale tokens. So she can use her skill to remove this. I think we're gonna try to gather. I'm gonna leave Scorpio where he is and do a lot of gathering. Okay. So discarding shuffling research tiles. We pass the first player token. Next round, hour 4. Bring it in here. Let's see what this corridor tells us. Okay. +1 energy on the filled track. Morale phase. Okay, cool. She's gonna use her special ability, putting a mark on the We Will Rock You. Spend 2, 3, or 4 to discard 1 chosen token from any region of interest in ring 1, 2, or 3. I assume that applies in this case, so I'm doing it. If they don't have enough to discard, blah blah blah. Oxygen and energy, so this goes up how much? By 3? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 3 in energy, okay. So we haven't needed to refill, but might be a good idea. We don't use oxygen for a lot of things, so we're okay. Move any seeds you have up 1 space. Consume food, increase stress. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we're back to gaining 1 to prevent future consequences. We're gonna see the medic. Gonna lower stress. And we need to prevent future consequences. So we're not gonna do any exploration this round. You're gonna help us. We're gonna do a lot of gathering. So, can I gather? Here. We're gonna do some research for sure. Probably need to step it up on the research. So, maybe we'll do... We don't have to build anything anymore. Want to gather. It's going to require 4. Do more research. Our action tiles get taken up pretty quickly. Okay. I think that's the best we can do. So, heavy equipment, new data. Oh yeah, gain 1 to prevent future consequences. So this is the medic, gaining 1. And now we're going to gather. Both of these gathers are guaranteed successful. And then we're doing research. So 1 is successful. And the second we have to roll for. We are successful and nothing bad happened. Awesome. And we achieved one of our objectives. Doesn't really matter what number, but we just get one there. And check it off in the app. So we completed the first research track. And it says there are some strange results. In the sample you find micro elements that look like steel. Okay. Our new quest is to complete the second research track 3 and 4, which we're halfway there. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 more. We have 2, so we need to gather 2 more. Okay. Everyone has returned to base. Next phase. Some malfunctions skipped. Cleanup. Pending available. Black markers. And, oh yeah, black marker here. Pass the first player token. So next round, hour 5 out of 7. So this says put this token next to your ID board, which is that circle one. You must re-roll the first check mark or success you'll get on a roll, then discard this token. Okay. Alright, so now we need to spend 3 action tokens to gain 1 research thing. So we might, and prevent future consequences. We might do that. The cool thing is we can use these to do that. So here's 2, here's 3. So that'll get done. We want to pick up more, so we need 4 there. And we want to move the Scorpio from the previous, which means we need 5. We're going farther. We'll go here next. And I'm going to use the Geologist's special ability to remove the wound. Putting a black marker on her skill, removing the wound. Oh, no, it would require 3. Because it's farther away. Well, that would be considered ring 1, right? Sure it would. So we're gonna do it. What's the point of gaining all these skills if you get to use them, right? So it's gonna be, I think it's 5, so it's like 2 to be successful, plus 1, 2, 3 is 5. I think that's how that works. Pretty sure that's how that works. So it's gonna cost us, that's gathering, it's gonna cost us an energy to gather. And we're gonna research. Let's guarantee success on some research. We have 2 more tiles left. They can do some more research. They could heal. There's nothing to build. We're gonna do more research. So the research oxygen is gonna go down 1. We're gonna, that's it. We're gonna avoid future consequences. And that allowed us to gain 1. There's no more blue. Here, we can take it from here. So that gets us 2, that's 1. So we only actually need, oh, wow, this is going good. Then we're not exploring, gathering. This is successful. We take this. So we have 4 more, which is what we needed. So we've done all the exploration and gathering we need to. And gathering. What else? Now we are successful in the research. So things are going pretty well. Research. So we're going to go to the quest log and check the box to complete the second research objective that says this is becoming more and more strange. The data you collect after examining these rocks and mud samples are sure to have NASA excited. Okay. So we put a marker there. And complete the third research track. We almost have everything what we need. Only 3 more samples. Okay. So all we have to do is research these 2, which is going to cost us 1 oxygen. Sounds good to me. And not even everybody needs to live. That's harsh. So now we're going to go to the next phase. Malfunction is skipped. Discard black markers. Did the medic? I don't think the medic did hers, so we're going to spend 1 to go down in stress. And pass the first player token. And we can move the Scorpio if we want to. We're going to move it back to the start. Hour 6. I don't like what we're seeing here. Not at all. Gain 1 and put on the shoe. So we don't even need that many, but we're getting it. So we get another one. This game's too nice to us. Morale phase +3. He has a ton already. Energy. So our goes up by 1, 2, 3. So if we needed it, we can refill. Which you might do anyway, so we don't run out. It says place 1 on this action, then add X for the distance between Scorpio and the starting tile, which is 0 because I put Scorpio back on the starting tile. So I literally only need 1 guy to go there, and it can be anything. So the builder and the explorer can go there, and we can refill all, we can do 6 there and 7 there. We want to guarantee success on the research. We don't need to gather or explore. We can... Let's go to the next phase. For each astronaut, place 1 of your action tokens here or discard 1. For each astronaut can take this action once. Taking this action at least once prevents future consequences. So like the scientist can discard 1 thing, and that will prevent future consequences. Why would I want to do that more than once? I don't get it. Okay. The medic can heal herself and heal him. We can reduce stress. It's just like kind of stretching here. We're supposed to spend all of our action tiles. I guess this guy's gonna do the action. That doesn't matter. Okay, next phase. Malfunction is skipped. Wait a minute. Slow down. I went ahead of myself. So we're gonna do that, quelling the panic. So we discarded. Okay. Now we're going to guarantee. Okay, so stress goes down. This comes back. Medic healed herself and healed this guy. Then we're going to research. We're successful on the final 2 researches. And that action got done. Everyone, refill. So let's say this goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we check the quest log and check the box. The moment you see the results, you know you have made the most important discovery in the history of humanity. A few seconds later, you all hear a strange noise. You immediately understand. You haven't found aliens. They have found you. I didn't think there were aliens in this game. Okay. Oh my god. So the epilogue says, NASA never heard from the team again. There was much speculation as to why that was the case, but the true reason remained unknown. Another group was only sent to Mars after 16 long years, during which the matter of colonizing space was hotly debated. The opponents claimed nothing good could ever come out of the challenging the hostile Martian nature. The proponents argued that the Earth could not sustain our species any longer, and expansion was not only inevitable but also a wise move. And when someone raised the issue of Mars being unsuitable for life, they would always say the same thing: the humans will adapt. Okay. Set the health level of your astronauts. Everyone's at full health. Confirm. You finished the campaign exceptionally well. Congratulations, 95%. X objectives done. I don't know what that means. Okay. That's it. Okay. So conclusions. So cheating with the AOMs made the game a lot easier. Probably significantly easier than the game designer intended it. So if I do play this game again, I will not play with the AOMs. It was definitely cheating, and I don't recommend anybody do it. Also, I did some math or some interesting things about if you only have 1 to 3 players, you typically get an extra day. And playing without the AOMs, you get 8 total actions if you're playing with 4 players. And if you're playing with 3 players, let's say we don't have the scientist, then you would get 6. But you get to use 1 of the AOMs. You get to pick one, and that's the one you stick with for the whole campaign. So you're taking away the rest of the AOMs. What happened to the green guy? Oh, yeah. So 3-player game, you would have 6 plus 1 AOM. Let's say we use the builder. So that's 7. So in a 4-player game, you get 8. And you get, say, 7 hours. In a 3-player game, you get 7. but you get 8 hours. So the total number of actions taken is the same. It's either 7 times 8 or 8 times 7, which is the same number. And in a 3-player game, the stress goes up more slowly and the food goes down more slowly. So you need to spend less actions maintaining stress, and you don't have to build as many food things, farm greenhouses, or research planting the seeds. So that's slightly less actions. So the game is mathematically easier on a 3-player game. The downside is you don't get to use the one player that you chose to not go with. You don't get to use their skills. I never used any of the scientist's skills. Did I? Maybe once? Like, maybe? And the scientist skills are expensive and hard to use, and there's not a lot of research in this campaign, so I would recommend skipping the scientist. You don't need the research. There was a lot of research to be done, but you don't specifically need the automated research guy. Any of the AOMs can be useful, but once you're done exploring, that guy wouldn't be useful anymore, but then you can send him to do the actions, so still useful. So I would recommend not using the AOMs, and I would recommend playing a 3-player game, or 3 players or less. In a 2-player game or a 1-player game, they're about the same. You get 2 actions, regardless if it's a 2-player game or a 1-player game, you get 2 scientists. So you get 4 actions plus 2 AOMs, which is 6, but again, the food goes down more slowly. You don't have to build any. The food would never go down. And so you don't have to collect the seeds, you don't have to plant the seeds, you don't have to build the greenhouse. So the first mission is definitely easier, and the stress only goes up half as much as a 4-player game. So there's trade-offs. You get 2 AOMs, you get 6 actions, so that you do have less actions. Stress is typically not that big of a deal to maintain, so I would probably recommend a 3-player game. It's probably better than a 1 or 2-player game. Overall, I think this game's really fun. It is designed to be hard. It's like surviving Mars. It's supposed to be hard. You're not supposed to win every time. So I played this game about 12 times before making this video, and I lost. The first few times I played the game, I didn't actually know how to play. I wasn't rolling the dice correctly, so the game was a lot easier. So the first 3 games I won when it should have been a lot harder. Once I figured out how the dice actually worked and I was playing correctly, it was harder, and I lost 5 times in a row. So I finally said, screw it, I'm going to play with 4 players, I want as many actions as possible, and that's when I made this video. So this is the first time with this campaign, first time playing the campaign, and first time cheating like this with the AOM. So it did turn out to be a lot easier. Probably too easy, but I like winning, so you decide. Thanks for watching, thanks for playing, have a good night.